All right, gang, we are back at the Cadillac. Okay, so we checked the oil, changed the oil. So the reason you want to change the oil if a car's been sitting more than even 6 months is it deteriorates, guys. It creates condensation. Basically, the oil goes bad. So you don't want to use oil, even though it looks good, that's been sitting in the car a long time. So we did manage to do that while it's sitting here. Now we're determined to drive it out of here because it's in such good condition. So I'm going to take the air can off of this. Yeah, a big old Chevy carburetor. So that would be, oh man. I'm an Edelbrock carb kind of guy. They do not have great big vent tubes. So on a Holly, you can fill through the vent tube quite easily because it's round. Same with on like the Edelbrock Carters or whatever, you can fill through the vent tubes on the side. Here, this is the vent for the float. So I'm going to try to fill the float bowl with fresh high octane fuel, and then we will attempt to start the vehicle. I always like to use, I mean, this is a zinc bottle. Obviously it doesn't have zinc in it, it's got Supreme in it. And then I like to try to just get some in the vent. It's dripping in there. And the car's alive by itself because Zoli's behind me shaking it, I'm guessing. And the car does have an electronic choke, so we're going to put a little bit down the other vents. And just a couple of splashes down into the carburetor itself. You don't want to wash out the engine, guys. That's why you'll see I'm just using a little bit. And then we'll get Zoli in the car. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. You're better off, gang, to use a small amount and try a couple times than to dump a bunch of gas down your carburetor because it will wash the cylinders down. This is also a new deep cycle battery that's been put in it here. I've been told at least. So hopefully Zoli got a new deep cycle battery. Oh, I hear, oh, look at that. That's normal, give me a sec. It's only because I put a little teeny bit in, right? It's gonna draw it up from the tank. So now we know it's gonna fire, gang. We will put a little more in it, and then if we can get it to stay running, once it runs longer than 5 seconds, it should pull more fuel. Okay, go ahead again, Zoli.
Wicked.
Yeah. Okay.
Looking styling, Zoli. Looking styling, bud. We'll get her up and put her on the trailer here, and we'll be laughing.
Should we lift the tongue up a bit?
Yeah, I'm thinking that here. Do you want to take over here?
So what we're gonna do, guys, because the car is low, we're gonna put the tongue jack down so the trailer's tipped a bit. So the reason we're doing this is because it's gonna tip the trailer up and make the breakover angle on this big boat less intrusive. Well, she's on this deck, so it lines up with the wood pretty much here, maybe an inch. This deck is 18.3 feet long. So the car is easily 18 feet, if not longer, for a two-door. e-brake. You guys gotta see this. Okay, so see how the e-brake's on, right?
Yeah.
Put it in gear. Click, click, automatically releases. Cadillac. Okay, all right, gang. So, I noticed as I was parking it, I smelt some fuel. So I shut it off. What we had is, and this is a great example, this is why you don't ever want to just, and I know they do it on roadkill and it's super entertaining and fun. It's not real. This right here could burn the car down. So now, right now, it started spraying gas out of there during unloading it. This seal on the front of the fuel intake on the carburetor. And what happens is the seals get dried out and cracked. And at first, you'll be all right. And then we had no issues driving it out, loading it up. There wasn't any leaks. It got rushed a bit, which I hate, but it happened. So, I mean, no one's perfect. This is a perfect example of why you don't do things exactly the way we just did it. I should have taken longer, and I should have checked all of this before it came out of the garage. I got in a hurry. Don't make that same mistake. This could have burnt this classic car to the ground. So what we're doing here now is we're going to take the fuel line out, take this off so Zoli can get a new gasket here and he can safely drive his car. So what you want to do, gang, always make sure when you're taking fuel lines off, have a wrench. I like to use a crescent / thumb wrench, or a wrench that fits, it works too. Make sure it's nice and snug. Always support that other one, so then you can take, see, this is, somebody's reefed on this in the past. That is too tight for a fuel line. So it probably leaked in the past. Someone tightened the heck out of this fuel line. They don't need to be that tight, gang. That wasn't us for sure. We tried snugging up the other one. It didn't work. It just slowed it to a drip. If your fuel line's that tight, it's over tightened. These are a compression fitting on the end. They're tapered. They just need to be snug and then a quarter turn. So we're gonna undo it off the float bowl too because of the hard line it is here. Old school float bowl. Another tech tip too, see how the wrench is turned on the end, guys? So if you're right here and it's awkward and it doesn't work the way you want, you can turn it and then have the extra leverage. A lot of people don't realize that they're designed to be able to turn it, so when you do small turns, you just flip the wrench down, turn the wrench around each time, and you can get the quarter turn out of it. And you always want to have a rag under when you're doing fuel lines like this, gang, to try to catch the fuel. Now, luckily the engine didn't get really hot. I smelt it. We opened the hood and shut the car off. But it could have been horrible. And it's my fault because I made the mistake of not taking my time on a car that I know has been sitting for a long time. I allowed myself to get in a hurry and be talked into being quick, and I shouldn't have, and it almost cost a classic car. So don't make the same mistake I did. Do what I say, not as I do. Hard lines are kind of hard to get out a lot of the time, gang, because I'm trying to bend it a bit without bending it a lot. There we go. So there's the hard line, and then we need to get to here. This could have a filter inside of it. There's a flat gasket right here. And I know a lot of YouTubers, they leave stuff like that out, but no. I'm all about the barn find. And that's why Project Black Sheep has been so great, because we took our time. I mean, we did it pretty quick, but we took our time and did everything right. Always be careful too, gang, depending on the year of the carb. There could be a spring behind this if it's a cartridge filter. And there's no filter in here, I don't think. Nope, there is. It's just somebody is, we need a pick or something, it's been crushed. So this has been over tightened a few times. So only this is what you need. As you can see, it's rubber, but and you can't get just regular black rubber. You have to get petroleum safe rubber.
So is this a Lordco piece?
Yep.
And do I have to tell them you're the car?
No, they should have petroleum O-rings that'll do. Bring this, make sure it fits.
Okay.
And then before you reinstall this, somebody has put an incorrect screen in here. Let's see if I can get it out.
I have a little tiny screwdriver. You want that?
So this is supposed to be a fuel screen. Okay, somebody over tightened it and collapsed it. And there's little pieces of screen all in there.
Oh no. So
Yeah, it'll be okay, you just have to clean it out.
But you say there's a piece of screen in there?
Yeah, it's not one piece, it's little pieces. So this probably started leaking years ago, probably before you even had it. And look, you can see the pieces of screen?
Yeah.
All in the threads. This is going to be much thicker when you buy it new.
Should I get a new one of these?
Yes. Get a complete one that has a screen that's over the end.
Okay.
That's that length.
And that has to be cleaned.
Yep.
Inside?
Just you can hit it with a little compressed air or some choke clean, and it'll flush it.
It won't drive it in.
No, it can't because the accelerator pump's closed, and then it won't let fuel go in.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, on this type of carb, if you look right here, you can see you'll see a it's almost like a plunger.
Mm-hmm.
It's closed.
Where did that come
This
from?
is just the vacuum advance. I moved it when I was doing that, so I didn't wreck
So
it.
that's not hooked up to anything?
Right now, it's not. It goes right here to the distributor.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
We can come back tomorrow and assemble this. It's not a problem. You also need a new vacuum advance hose. This is a piece of clear hose. This isn't the correct stuff. You should have vacuum hose. Get a small roll of vacuum hose because I see someone's done this on the car.
Yeah, I know.
So
I'll tell you about the guy later.
yeah, we'll talk about that off camera. We know the reason for this, gang. We're not throwing people under the bus. So anyways, that being said, don't make the same mistake I did. Don't just close the hood on a car after you first get it to start for the first time in years. Be careful because it could cost you your car. Do as I say, not as I do. And we're just going to check the fuel line for kinks. Yeah, see? So,
Can you buy those?
I mean, you're not in any danger. There's no cracks. If you could get a pre-made fuel line that's this long, I can bend it and make it fit properly. Or if we have to, we can use that. I wouldn't say this is unsafe, gang. It's just somebody reefed on it way too tight, and that's what happens to the fuel line. If you look at the curve. So, if you do that, then we can come back tomorrow and install everything and
Sounds good.
let you enjoy your evening. Always make sure, gang, when your car is sitting with anything open, especially the carburetor, I always like to go like that even before I set the air can down so nothing can accidentally get dropped down the engine. All right, gang. Well, we'll be back with you tomorrow when we get the fuel system sorted out on the 65 Cadillac. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.